Bills Mafia! What's going on? Before we dive into today's exclusive report, let me start with this. Inside one Bills drive, the team is working tirelessly to improve every single day. Every meeting, every workout, every roster evaluation, it's all about becoming sharper, deeper, and stronger for the 2026 season. If you believe in this team's commitment to getting better, do me a favor. Hit that like button right now. It helps the channel, it helps our community grow, and it lets more Bills fans join the conversation. Bills Mafia. If you want to check out the official Buffalo Bills store, the link is in the description and in the comment. Tons of new Sideline gear and hoodies available. Alright, let's jump right into it, because today's story is loaded. As most of you know, backup quarterback Mitch Trubisky is officially gone, heading to the Tennessee Titans in free agency. And while QB1 is absolutely locked in with Josh Allen, a 5-time NFL MVP finalist and now a brand new dad, Buffalo still needs to think long-term about the QB room. Sure, the Bills brought back Shane Boucher and Kyle Allen, two familiar faces, but with tight cap management and roster flexibility in mind, the most economical and strategic move might be drafting a young quarterback on day 3 to develop behind Allen. And guess what? Buffalo has 5 day 3 picks, plenty of opportunities to land a developmental QB without sacrificing premium draft capital. So today, we're breaking down 4 under-the-radar quarterback prospects who could realistically become the next long-term backup in Buffalo. But that's not all, because later in the video, we're also diving into a surprising new draft storyline involving punter competition that absolutely could affect training camp. Stick with me. First up, we've got Jalen Daniels from Kansas. And Bills fans, this guy already has a connection to Buffalo. Daniels reportedly attended a private workout with the Bills earlier this offseason, and he left a strong impression. What stands out? 4-time team captain, the first in Kansas history. Did not miss a start over his last 2 seasons. Accounted for 36 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns. Second highest career passing total in Kansas history. NFL Combine 40-yard dash, 4.65. Daniels is the definition of a dual threat. He's mentally tough, loves the game, and has the leadership qualities you want in a backup quarterback. Now, Bills fans need to be realistic. He's likely a career reserve, not a future starter. But as a day 3 developmental guy who can run the offense in a pinch, yes, Daniels checks that box. Next up, Derek Robertson from Monmouth.
If you follow the FCS, you know this dude can sling it. Led the entire subdivision with 337.8 passing yards per game. Played through a midseason wrist injury on his non-throwing hand. Returned for the playoffs despite Monmouth getting snubbed. Nearly 6'2", with above-average arm strength, known for throwing receivers open, showing high-level anticipation. Robertson is gritty, tough, and highly cerebral, qualities you absolutely want in a developmental quarterback. If Buffalo wants someone who can sit behind Josh Allen, learn the system, and eventually run it efficiently, Robertson could be the guy. Whether it's late in the draft or as a priority UDFA, he fits exactly what Buffalo has looked for in past backup evaluations. Now, here's a name that once carried first-round hype, Drew Allar. At one point, Allar was considered a potential franchise QB, but inconsistency, poor decision-making, and an ankle fracture derailed his draft stock. Still, NFL scouts love. He's 6'5" frame, his NFL-level arm strength, his ability to push the ball vertically. The Bills also hold an evaluation advantage here, thanks to offensive assistant Trace McSorley, a former Penn State quarterback who was on the Nittany Lions staff last season. That's inside information nobody else has. If Allar is available on day 3, Buffalo might see a classic buy low opportunity. Last on the list, but maybe the most fascinating, is Cole Payton. If you love dynamic runners at QB, Payton is your guy. Last season at NDSU, he led the entire FCS in yards per attempt, 12.1, averaged 5.7 yards per carry, scored 13 rushing TDs, dominated at the Senior Bowl, winning national team MVP, ran a 4.56 at the Combine at 232 pounds. He's a left-handed quarterback with limited arm strength.
Strong directional control. Huge natural power. Special teams analyst Ryan Roberts called him a trusted asset for years to come. Bills fans remember the punter carousel last year. Cameron Johnston, then Brad Robbins, then Wishnowsky.
Buffalo is clearly done messing around. They want stability. They want consistency. They want a punter who can flip the field in January football. Don't be surprised if they use a late-round pick to finally settle it. The firing of longtime head coach Sean McDermott sent shockwaves through the organization. After years of consistent playoff appearances but heartbreaking exits, the front office decided it was time for a new direction. And that direction? It now belongs to Joe Brady. Promoted from offensive coordinator to head coach in just over a week, Brady represents something very different. This isn't a complete outsider rebuild. It's an internal evolution. But make no mistake, the vibe is changing. Players are already feeling it. Veteran left tackle Dion Dawkins put it best when he said Brady is the vibe that our locker room has and needs. That's not just a quote. That's insight into a locker room ready for a cultural reset. Now here's where things get really interesting. Joe Brady didn't just step into the role, he built a staff that reflects his philosophy. He brought in experienced minds like Pete Carmichael on offense and Jeff Rodgers on special teams, while handing the defense to first-time coordinator Jim Leonhardt. At first glance, these moves may not feel flashy. No headline-grabbing superstar coaches, no massive splash hires. But look closer, this is intentional. This is about cohesion, communication, and modernizing the system around the roster, especially around the franchise centerpiece, Josh Allen. And here's the reality. If the Bills fall short in 2026, it likely won't be because of coaching instability. This staff is aligned, focused, and built for long-term success. Let's talk about what might be the biggest storyline of all, the roster overhaul. This isn't just tweaking around the edges. This is a full-on transformation. Several key names from the old era are gone or still sitting in free agency. Matt Milano, AJ Epinesa, Tre'Davious White, Jordan Phillips, Jordan Poyer, and others like Teron Johnson.
Now let's talk about what Buffalo has added, because this is where things get really intriguing. The headline move? The acquisition of wide receiver DJ Moore. This is a major boost for Josh Allen, giving him a true number one target who can separate, create after the catch, and elevate the entire passing game. But that's not all. The Bills also brought in pass rusher Bradley Chubb, adding firepower to a defense that struggled at key moments last season. And then there are the defensive reinforcements. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Geno Stone, D. Alford. These aren't just depth signings, they're tone setters. Especially Gardner-Johnson, who has already energized the fan base with his confidence and attitude. The message is clear. This defense is getting tougher, more aggressive, and more unpredictable. Now let's address the real question. Have the Bills done enough? The honest answer? Yes, but they're not finished. Buffalo hasn't made a move that makes you say, this guarantees a Super Bowl. But they also haven't taken a step backward. In fact, they've done something arguably more important. They've reset the foundation without tearing everything down. That's incredibly difficult to do in the NFL. And this is where things get critical. The 2026 NFL Draft is right around the corner, and it could define whether this offseason is remembered as a success or a missed opportunity. Right now, Buffalo has a first-round pick at number 26, no second-round pick, a significant gap before their next selection. That creates a major decision point. Do they stay put and draft a single impact player? Or do they trade back and collect multiple picks to fill more roster holes? Because let's be real, this team still has needs. Wide receiver depth behind Moore, linebacker help, offensive line reinforcement, cornerback depth. Trading back could be the smartest move, giving Buffalo more chances to build depth and sustain success over the long haul. At the end of the day, everything comes back to one player, Josh Allen. The Bills are not rebuilding. They are reloading around a generational quarterback. And that means every decision, from coaching hires to draft picks, must answer one question. Does this help us win with Josh Allen right now and in the future? So far, the answer looks promising. Adding DJ Moore helps immediately. Reshaping the defense adds balance. Resetting the culture creates long-term stability. Brandon Beane knows it. Bills coaches know it. And if you're watching this video, you know it too. The 2026 NFL Draft is one of the most important drafts of this era, especially with the roster turnover, the coaching transition, and the need for depth behind star players. Whether it's a developmental QB, a punter, or simply guys who come in and compete, Buffalo has a chance to strengthen the foundation around Josh Allen and make a real push next season. Which quarterback would you take as Josh Allen's next backup? Jalen Daniels, Derek Robertson, Drew Allar, Cole Payton? Or would you skip QB entirely and draft punter Ryan Eckley? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everything you guys post. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more breaking Buffalo Bills news and exclusive reports. Official Buffalo Bills gear, new drops, and exclusive items, all in the link below. Check it out, Bills Mafia. Go Bills!